Hey everybody, XCI here for a Let's Play of Magic the Gathering Arena. Now, this is already sort of through the tutorial levels. I sort of had to get through those in order to put in some booster pack codes from the loot box that came in June or something like that. So I figured I got some packs here, and I haven't played Magic for probably 3 years. 4 years ago I was playing Magic the Gathering 2014. A while ago I just said 4 years ago. But then because of that game I sort of got into Pauper Magic. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Pauper Magic is basically all the penny cards, all the cards that people throw away. I basically just started buying hundreds, thousands. I bought 4,000 cards one summer. I took ages to organize them into theme decks, and I just played against a friend with Pauper cards because hell, it was fun. I love just the idea. I loved it. To be honest, I wasn't into the big competitive nature of Magic and some of the crazy cards you can get that will just be like game killers and stuff like that, and building strategies around that. For me, it was more like just playing. The theme of it was really captivating to me, and I love the lore, if you will, of the card sets themselves. And then I just let the creativity kind of take over, and I had fun with building teams that just had either they were thematically connected or they were strategically connected. Like I had a graveyard deck with undead. I had a vermin one with like spiders and rats and ratlings, and and so just things like I had one with like flying creatures. I had one with just like elves and I think it was elves and spiders, that one. Geez, it was so many fun decks I built. Goblin deck. Anyways, when you have thousands of cards, you can do whatever you want. So anyways, I wanted to load this game, and it's free to play anyways. I mean, there's like things you can use, I guess gems to use in stores. You can use real money. I'm not going to get that far into it, but really I just want to open some booster decks. That's honestly, I'm recording this video because I want to open some booster decks, and I just want to see cards again. They're so much fun. There's something about Magic the Gathering that always brings me back, but I will probably want to play this game after I open the booster decks. But yeah, so let's just go through some of these, have some fun this first episode. This is sort of just a tester episode anyways. A more legitimate episode will come when I actually start to play. But for now, just going through some deck opening and then having some fun kind of revisiting some of these things. And some of these I might remember, but most of this I will not. These are, for example, this black deck this is new, right? This is like 2019, and then these are like old sets, so I might know some from down here. I love how they have music. Like, I just noticed that tied to each one. Is that based on the set, on the theme? Oh, I think it is. But that's neat. Okay, so we have Aether Tunnel, Enchant Creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0. Oh man, blue decks that I would say that was probably the most annoying deck to fight up against. When I was doing the Pauper runs with my friend, his blue deck would pains in the ass because of this enchantment stuff that you could just keep on loading up characters with like crazy stacks. We got one with the machine sorcery card. Draw cards equal to the highest converted mana cost among artifacts you control. Some of this stuff is definitely going over my head again because it's been a long time. What's that text beside it? Interesting. If you can't find a doorway, make one. When I grafted the planar bridge into myself, I felt my planeswalker spark flare beyond my body. The multiverse was my plaything. It felt incredible. See, things like that. They tell a story. They tell a story. Oh, I had a vampire deck. I loved my vampire deck. Vampire Sovereign, flying. When Vampire Sovereign enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. Oh, that was a fun deck to play, man. Your service shall be rewarded. A Mighty Leap. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying until the end of the turn. That's a great instant, just to get out or to get at something like last minute. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Defender Reach. What does Reach do again? It can attack what now? I forget how Reach works. A creature with Reach can block. Yeah, creatures with flying. That's right. Wall of Vines. It's a creature too. Plant wall. Oh, yeah. Because some walls, like living wall, there were a couple of them. They had hit points and they could do other things. Yeah, neat. Trusty Pack Beast. When Trusty Pack Beast enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. One of my favorite playstyles. Graveyard digging. I love it. But I love that this guy rummages through your graveyard. This is great. Great thematic idea there. What is that? Viashino? Sure. Viashino Pyromancer. The Lizard Man? Neat. When Viashino Pyromancer enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target players. To target player or planeswalker you choose. Okay, so it's low level, but yeah, good. And then common wild card. What's this? Redeem this wild card for any common card by adding the desired card to your deck. Common wild card. Why do I have no idea what this... Oh, redeem. Redeem this wild card. Redeem. How do we redeem a wild card? What's this? Reward. Uncommon wild card. Oh. Opening packs earns you wild cards. Always one of the fun things about... I was collecting... This is going to age me really bad. But I was buying the first set of Magic. That's how much... I was playing a lot of it. In the first 3 years of Magic, yes, in the 90s, I still have those cards. And part of the fun was you buy them, it's the opening of the packs and seeing what you get, you know? But this is neat. So opening the pack, so do I just click on it? No. Okay. And then this is a rare wild card. So they're silver or gold. Oh, do I have to keep opening them and then when they get this full, I get something? Maybe. Anyways, okay, so I think I'm done here. I can just open another one, yeah? Let's do it. Alright, we have the Gutter Snipe. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Gutter Snipe deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's fun. Big golden one here, flying. I have this card, I think, or my friend did. Wind Reader Sphinx. We got a couple of them. Flying. Whenever a creature with flying attacks, you may draw a card. Yeah, that's neat. Leonin Vanguard. Creature, cat, soldier. Probably the deck I use least is white deck. Yeah. So I'm less familiar, but I know the whole healing and again the buffs that you can do with it are crazy. These are the ones that these definitely piss me off when I go up against blue, but white's pretty damn close. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures, Leonin Vanguard gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and you gain a life. That's pretty neat. That's a great thing with white too. I did build one pauper deck with white, which was all just stacking benefits, either from buffs or from allies joining the field, or like getting allies onto the field, or having this kind of thing where the more of one kind goes on the field, they start buffing up. That's always a fun mechanic to mess around with. We have the Manolith. Add 1 mana of any color. We got a flying, a standard just flying Drake here. Snapping Drake. Frilled Sea Serpent. Frilled Sea Serpent can't be blocked this turn. Pretty tough guy. We got a Field Creeper. I like it. Black deck's my favorite. Easily my favorite. Probably followed by green, I would say. Had a wolf deck. Werewolf deck was awesome too. Even pauper werewolf deck was fun to play. Hella fun to play. Yeah, so artifact creatures. So Scarecrow, love it. And then Thornhide Wolves. All right. And then let's get our last core. So these came with the game, I think, when I got the game. So Meteor Golem. When Meteor Golem enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent. An opponent. Destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. Nice. So like, he just lands, and that's the other thing. See, I'm already doing it. It's like you read the card, but I can visualize how it would go down. You know, it's like this thing because you look at the art. It's like he can smash. He smashes into something, obliterates it, destroys non-land permanent, and then away he goes. 3/3 on the field. So this is always a special card. Okay, cool. Mentor of the Meek. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. Okay. Oh, and that's another silver. Oh! Yeah, but see, now I only got 1 lit up here. I was like... I thought I got all the way around last time. And I was only missing 1. Anyways. Opening packs earns you wild cards. 5 more packs. Oh, I see. It tells you. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. That's the actual thing. Okay. Star Crown Stag. Whenever Star Crown Stag attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. Defending player controls. Gotcha. So you force tap. Yeah, neat. Which means that they can't block the stag. Oh, I see again. He like leaps over it, right? He like leaps over something to attack. Yeah, that's neat. I love the thematic aspects of these powers. They're great. Okay, Inspired Charge. Instant. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. I recall a green card doing something similar. I think was it a Stampede, maybe? Something like that. Doomed Dissenter. When Doomed Dissenter dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Love it! I love it. Immediately. Macabre Waltz. Is kind of a song. Yeah, music. This is very well known. Well, I mean, if you're a gothic horror freak like me. Sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. Awesome! Scholar of Stars. Human Artificer. When Scholar of Stars enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact, draw a card. Alright. Neat-o. Should we move on? Of course we shall. That's what this episode is going to be. I told you it was. I want to open decks. I want to see cards. Necrotic Wound. Undergrowth. Target creature gets XX until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Oh, damn! If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Target creature. Damn, look at that, huh? So this is what I mean about. That's why I love graveyard decks. They're so crazy and chaotic. So you kill a bunch of creatures, they end up in your graveyard deck, and then you play this instant here, Necrotic Wound. So target creature of the opponent gets a -10, -10. So you got 10 things have died. Psh, there's a 10 on the field. Bam. Exit. Necrotic Wound. Oh, it's like attacking from your grave. I love it. If the creature dies this turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. So exile is like, it doesn't go in the graveyard. It's out of gameplay. Not always effective, but sometimes it is, man. What is this? Oh yeah, I had some like dual cards or whatever. Look at that music. That's crazy. Niv, Mezit, Perun. Oh my gosh. Legendary creature. This spell can't be countered. Flying. Whenever you draw a card, Niv Mezet Perun deals 1 damage to any target, and whenever a player casts an instant or sorcerer spell, you draw a card. Crazy talk. Golgari Findbroker. When Golgari Findbroker enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Oh yeah, okay, he's oh, it is a dual card. He's got his black green. Oh, it's like an elf, a necromantic elf or something. And Golgari is like a race. So oh man, there's so much lore in this world, man. I wish they just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm sure there are novels out there, I just haven't read them. And but I feel like there should just be way more stuff. Like a role-playing game. I always imagined Wizards of the Coast would have made a role-playing game for Magic the Gathering as soon as they got the license. But not the license, they bought out TSR and then got Dungeons and Dragons, and that came with like Planescape at the time. Good lord, these guys, and this IP had planeswalkers, why wouldn't you just have create a plane where Magic the Gathering takes place, man? Anyways, Garrison Sergeant has double strike as long as you control a gate. I have no recollection of what a gate means. I have no idea. I feel like I've got a gate. Does that work like land? I forget. I feel like I got a couple. Anyways, Rosemane Centaur. Or Centaur. Convoke. I have no idea what Convoke does. Your creature can help you cast this spell. Oh, that's right. I had something like this. Each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for one of your mana of that creature's color. Yeah. I think I had an elf. Did I have some elves that could do this? Something like that. Hammer Dropper. Mentor. 5/2. Just crazy attack. Well, high attack. And a duel too. We have Fresh-Faced Recruit. A 2/1. As long as it's your turn, Fresh-Faced Recruit has first strike. First strike can be a pain in the ass. I learned that the hard way. It's always my memories are always when they are up against me. And we have Devious Cover-Up. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard. You may shuffle up to 4 target cards from your graveyard into your library. That's got a crazy amount of things happening here. So you counter a spell. That spell gets removed from play, and on top of it, you get to go into your own graveyard and grab 4 cards. You may shuffle up to. That's crazy. Yeah, cool stuff. All right, let's get another one. All the sounds happening there at once. Gold. We have Guild Summit. Enchantment. When Guild Summit enters the battlefield, you may tap any number of untapped gate cards. Again, the gate thing. If they get a gate and I get reminded of what this is. Draw a card for each gate tapped this way. Whenever a gate enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. I think they acted like I'm going to speculate as I go now because I can't help it. But I think they acted like lands that had powers on them. Venerated Loxodon. Convoke. When Venerated Loxodon enters the battlefield, put 1/1 counter on each creature that convoked it. No, nice. So you use creatures to pull it out, and then it gets a buff for having done so. That's great. Smelt Ward Minotaur. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn. Okay. That's usually that I felt like that was common for like brute characters, especially Minotaur cards. Like you can't block. They just charge through and plow through things. It's great. I love bats. I had a bat deck. Well, I had a bat deck with my vampires. Well, I had bats in the vampire theme deck. It was, of course, some wolves in there. Because why? Of course. I have flying bats. So just 3/1. We have Perillian Patrol. Okay. Flying Vigilance. Attacking doesn't cause a creature with Vigilance to tap. Yeah, that can get annoying when you have a whole stack of those guys. I've also gotten Ninja Beat with something like that. That's how I learned about Vigilance. It was great coming back to Magic with all of those cards, and then because I wasn't playing any of the white ones, so I wasn't reading any of them, but I didn't know anything. It had been almost 20 years. 15, 20 years. And then, so some of these things would come up, Vigilance, and they just completely flat-foot me. Gravitic Punch. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its own power to target player. Jumpstart. What is Jumpstart? You may cast this card from your graveyard. Wow, by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. Who cares? I see. Then exile this card. Yeah, you get one shot. You get a one-shot tactic here, but yeah, pretty neat. A dual here Goblin Electromancer. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Alright, okay, why aren't you coming? There we go. Erstwhile Trooper. Discard a creature card. Erstwhile Trooper gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Activate this ability only once each turn. The thing with Magic that ultimately it trips me up and also dissuades me from playing, like, and that's, it's kind of like it's a cyclical thing that happens. It overwhelms me. It overwhelms me the amount of synergy tactics happen in Magic, and that advanced level of play is something that I am captivated by, but I'm just not really good at it. I'm not good at thinking very quickly with the whole intercept stuff, and these kinds of tactics are all about loading things up right when you can do that push, and then of course things can get countered, but then you can counter counters. There's like a whole sequence of things that can happen in the mid-actions phase where things can resolve, and so that always overwhelms me. And ultimately makes me leave the game, and then I eventually want to come back to it because I miss it. But yeah, so it's cyclical. So we have Thought Erasure. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. And survey 1, surveil 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. So if you want to just get rid of it and move on. Alright. Well. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. Goodness gracious. You're 2/5. What? Why did that sound so awesome? Well, it's got this symbol on it. Wait. Gold. Yeah, I guess that's a unique, a rare or whatever. Flying Mentor. What's Mentor do again? Whenever this creature attacks, put +1. Oh, yeah. +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. On target attacking creature with lesser power. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control. Until end of turn, that creature gets +2/+0. Gains trample if it's red, and gains vigilance if it's white. That's great. That's an interesting card. So this amps people up. It's great stuff. Okay. Swath Cutter Giant. Vigilance. Whenever Swath Cutter Giant attacks, it deals 1 damage to each creature defending player controls. Defending player controls. Deals 1 damage. So just, yeah. So, well, I mean, it's a Swath Cutter for a reason. Just area damage there. Loxodon Restorer. Convoke. When Loxodon Restorer enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Take Heart. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You gain 1 life for each. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's what I mean about white decks. They could be annoying in this regard too. Just keep healing, man. That's the whole point of it. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You gain 1 life for each attacking creature you control. Sweet Murphy. It's not even that they're attacking. It's just... Or is it that they have to be attacking, or is just creatures on the field are considered to be attacking, if I recall the rules correctly. Maybe I don't. Command the Storm. Instant. Command the Storm deals 5 damage to target creature. Red was great for that. Just instant damage powers that hit the field and obliterate things. Intrusive Pack Beast. Vigilance. When Intrusive Pack Beast enters the battlefield, tap up to 2 target creatures your opponent controls. I love it. It's so big that it just mangles mangles the defense. All right, we got another one of these suckers. All right, so we're done with Ravnica, but then this is Ravnica as well, but Ravnica Allegiance. So there are different sub. How does this work again? Was it like a deck would release every year? It would be a theme. It'd be like Ravnica, and then in that year there'd be different deck boxes that would get released under the Ravnica brand. I just know when I was trying to organize my cards, I was trying to I had to look up a list at some point, and that's when I realized how many cards there were, and I was going to start eBaying a couple of them just like old decks. And I'm like, no, they're still like boxes are still really expensive. For I'm like, no, I guess because of the rares in them or something. So people like will buy the box set to try to just pull the rares, and that's the value for them. No, I just wanted pauper cards. I just wanted shitty cards to play with. So we got Sunder Shaman. Sunder Shaman can't be blocked by more than one creature. Whenever Sunder Shaman deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. I read that wrong. My brain's not registering the first part. Sunder Shaman can't be blocked by more than one. Oh, I see. That's great. So only one. So yeah, because sometimes you need two to make up for the block, but it sort of gets around that a little bit. That's cool. Tome of Guild Pact. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, draw a card. Add 1 mana of any color. It's an artifact. Macabre Mockery. Put target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gets +2/+0 and gains haste. Oh my goodness. Until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Got it. So you got it for a temporary amount of time, but man, it's, I guess, sort of costly. Not really, 4 cards, I guess, but you can pull out, that's the thing, you can pull out a crazy, powerful, like, card. You finally take it out, and then you know you have this card in your hand. So right after you take it out, boom, you play Macabre Mockery, you pull it out of the graveyard, it rains havoc for that round, and then it's gone. I love black decks. Civic Stalwart. When Civic Stalwart enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. All right, that answers what I asked for the last deck, where it was attacking creatures. So it is, you have to be attacking with them, then they get the +1/+1. And these ones are just in control. So you have them in control, they're +1/+1 until the end of turn, so that you can use that +1/+1 for blocks and stuff like that, or instant attacks, however that works. That dynamic plays out. Savage Smash. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creatures you don't control. So we have Enchantment Aura. Flash, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets -4, -1. So it gets all slime bind, it gets all gooped. Burning Tree Vandal. Riot. I think that's new. A creature with Riot enters the battlefield with your choice of +1/+1 counter or haste. Neat. Did I have goblins? Are there goblins with this? I feel like Riot? I feel like that sounds sort of familiar, but I don't recall using it. Whenever Burning Tree Vandal attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. There's some switches. Okay, cool. Homunculus. Flying. Oh, what's adapt do again? If this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1 counter on it. That's it. So, right, hold on. You call it into play. You only pay that once, right? When it says that in the descriptor down there, it says 2 green and blue. And then if you tap those cards, it gets adapt 1. But you only get the +1/+1. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then if someone removes it or it gets neutralized and it goes back to 0/0, you can just tap those cards again to get it to go to 3/4. Okay, neat. Let's open another Ravnica. Alright. Bam, there it is. Now I don't know where that goes, because that just went and flew off somewhere over here. Opening packs earns you. Let me read this again. Next, uncommon wild card. Anyways, we'll figure it out when we start playing. Light up the stage. Spectacle. I don't know what that is. You may cast this spell for its spectacle cost rather than its mana cost if an opponent lost life this turn. Okay, interesting. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Oh, that's an interesting dynamic. I've never seen that dynamic. Guardian Project. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, If it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control, or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. So you have to pull in something new. Guardian Project. Neat. Okay, and we have a silver. Sorrowform Hybrid. Creature, human lizard warrior. 2/2, and it has adapt 4. If this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Wow, that's a pretty bob right there. Sage's Row Savant. When Sage's Row Savant enters the battlefield, scry 2. Scry does, looks at the top 2 cards of your library. Then put any number of them on the bottom of your library, and the rest on top in any order. Well, there's only 2, so you're putting either one right. Oh, I see. You can switch up the two. If you keep both, you can switch the order of them in on the top. Okay. And then Sphinx's Insight. Draw 2 cards. Addendum. If you cast this spell during your main phase, you gain 2 life. As an instant. Oh, that's an interesting dynamic too for an instant. I've never seen that before. An addendum. This spell has an additional effect if you cast it during your main phase. Oh, wow. So there's like phase conditions. Okay. I don't know how new that is, but I don't recall that. Destroy target creature, scry 1. Destroy target creature, scry 1. It's an instant. Alright. Here we have this little guy again. So let's go. Gates Ablaze, sorcery. Gates Ablaze deals X damage to each creature where X is the number of gates you control, which I still don't right now. Kaya's Wrath. Destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you control that were destroyed this way. That's anything on the field. Like, you just... Well, I mean, it's all creatures. You gain life. Oh my god. So chaotic. I love it. I love this chaos. It's like a board wipe. It's a reset switch and you get healed for it. Oh, so annoying, so trolly. Silhana Wayfinder. When Silhana Wayfinder, geez, I could not say that, enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. It's like it's a scout, elf scout. Love it. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it on top of your library. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Senate Griffin. When Senate Griffin enters the battlefield, scry 1. Axebane Beast 3/4. Standard. This is a great thing with green as well. You just get these like I love them. The chords of creatures too that are just simple and they're just numbers. They're really cheap. Usually, if I recall this correctly, they're usually the cheapest to kind of the cost to get them on the field. But yeah, they're generally beastly numbers. I love them and they're tough. Spike Wheel Acrobat. Spectacle 2. May cast it. So what does a 2 mean in this case? You may cast a spell for its spectacle cost rather than its mana cost if an opponent lost life this turn, right? So if they lose life, you make a spectacle of it. Ooh, vampire. Viscopa, vampire. Lifelink. I remember Lifelink. Damage dealt by a creature or spell with lifelink also causes its controller to gain that much life. So good. I had a card that you could put lifelink onto some other creature that didn't have. So you can make them vampires. Love it. Root Snare. Instant. These are probably like noob cards, you know what I mean? But I'm so excited about I love my pauper decks. I love them. They just tell a story when I fight with them. So I'm saying, like, I love. You guys are all probably like, oh, that's a shitty. Like, there's way better cards. I'm like, I know there probably are, but these things are neat. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn for Root Snare. All right, we're almost there. So I mean, we'll end with that one. I should have opened both of those at the start, but let's go War of the Spark. This is completely new to me. So Mayhem Devil. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. Sacrifice a permanent. Alright. Ooh, finale of devastation. Okay, sorcery. Search your library and graveyard for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less and put it into the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X and gain haste until the end of the turn. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, that sounds crazy. Amazing. Anyways, my brain was going into all these scenarios. Okay, so Firemind Vessel. Artifact. Firemind Vessel enters the battlefield tapped. Add 2 mana of different colors. Alright, so you tap it for... Well, it's tapped on the field, and then you tap it to add 2 mana of different colors. Oh, that's neat. So like it helps for things like this. Where you need 2 right away. You just pay 1 extra. Good to go. Centaur Nurturer. When Centaur Nurturer enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Tap for add 1 mana of any color. Ooh, that's neat. Okay, Grim Initiate. First strike. When Grim Initiate dies, amass 1. So we got a Spellkeeper Weird. Sacrifice Spellkeeper Weird. Return target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard to your hand. Teferi's Time Twist. Exile target permanent you control. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next step. If it enters the battlefield as a creature, it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. It's an instant. Cool. And then we have this common wild card. There we go. Come, keep it going. We got a gold. Just got kicked in. Rescue your Sphinx. As Rescue your Sphinx enters the battlefield, you may return a non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If you do, Rescue your Sphinx enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay.
This is a prime day for justice.
Hello, Gideon Blackblade. Okay, legendary. These are okay. Cause I knew very little about how these worked at all. I had to look this stuff up. As long as it's your turn, Gideon Blackblade is a 4/4 human soldier creature with indestructible that's still a planewalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Gideon Blackblade during your turn. Up to 1 other target creature you control gains your choice of Vigilance, Lifelink, or Indestructible until end of turn. Exile target non-land permanent. See, I forget what that -6 means. I forget what that means on the side there. I don't know how legendaries work. All right, well, something we gotta experience at some point. Tybalt, Rakish, Instigator. Oh, it's legendary as well. What? Okay. Wait. Really? They don't have to be rares to come up like this? Your opponent can't gain life. Ooh, wow. Create 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. Exploding devils? I don't know. That's great though. It makes sense for red. Defiant Strike. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Draw a card. Teo's Light Shield. Creature. Illusion. When Teo's Light Shield enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Illusion. I don't recall ever seeing that descriptor variable in there. Spellgorger Weird. So Weird definitely feels like that's some new creature that got introduced during the set, maybe. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Spellgorger Weird. Oh my. Oh my. That's crazy. That could be fun. Turret Ogre. Turret Ogre. Reach. When Turret Ogre enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with power 4 or greater, Turret Ogre deals 2 damage to each opponent. Oh, that's crazy. Chain Whip. Cyclops. Tap 3 fire. Target creature can't block this turn. Alright. Almost there. God Pharaoh's Statue. Legendary artifact. Spells your opponent casts cost 2 more to cast. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 1 life. Ooh, ouch. Oh, each opponent. Whatever. Sucks to be you. Narset's Reversal. Copy target instant or sorcery spell, then return it to its owner's hand. You may choose new targets for the copy. Love it. Jace's Triumph. Sorcery. Draw 2 cards. If you control a Jace Planeswalker, draw 3 cards instead. Sorcery. Tameo's Epiphany. Scry 4, then draw 2 cards. Vampire Opportunist. Yes, please. Each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. That's a crazy tap right there, though. But each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Yeah, but hold on. Opponent is like the player opponent, right? Not the target creatures on the field, right? It's like if you're fighting multiple opponents, like players. Forget the term there, but I think that's how that works. Invading Manticore. Amass 2. What's amass? Put 2 +1/+1 counters on an army you control. Oh, is army a different descriptor? If you don't control one, create 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. I like it. Does zombies? I love it. So red black deck. Got it. When invading Manticore enters the battlefield, amass 2. Oh, that's fun. That is fun. That's a 4/5. It's not that bad. How much it cost, man? 5 fire. Guild Globe artifact. When Guild Globe enters the battlefield, draw a card. 2. Tap. Sacrifice Guild Globe. Add 2 mana of different colors. Right. Well, it's a cheap cost, I suppose, but you can sacrifice it for a fast buff. Sahili's Silverwing. Artifact creature Drake. Flying. When Sahili's Silverwing enters the battlefield, look at the top card of your opponent's library. An Aerial Scout. Dispark. Instant. Exile target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater. Alright.
Like the phases of the moon, life waxes and wanes.
Nice. Another legendary pull here. Tameo? Yeah, maybe Tameo. Tameo, Collector of Tales. We got here. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard cards to sacrifice permanents. Choose a non-land card name, then reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards with the chosen name from among them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Return target card from the graveyard to your hand. I'm trying to think of the conceptual stuff going on here. Her character, I've never heard of her. I mean, I haven't heard a lot about. I mean, I know Jace, but this sounds new to me. Oh, this whole deck was new. That's right. That's why I wouldn't have come across this when I was going through my reading binge 3 or 4 years ago. Took me a while to wrap my mind around that. Heartwarming Redemption. Instant. Discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards +1. You gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. So that's interesting. Interesting dynamic right there. Lifelink and haste. Banehound. Love it. Creature. Nightmare Hound. Love it. We got an Opportunist again. Thunder Drake. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Thunder Drake. Cast your second spell each turn. Neat though. So it scales the longer it stays on the field. It's great stuff. Ironclad Crovod. Standard beast. It's a white too, but hey, white needs things like this because then you buff these things up. And then it's cray. Tamio's Epiphany right there. Scry 4. Now we're back to the base set to wrap this up. Perfect 1 hour time here. I didn't think it'd take that long, but 1 hour is a good round number. Overgrowth Elemental. When Overgrowth Elemental enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target elemental you control. Whenever another creature you control dies, you gain 1 life. If that creature was an elemental, put +1/+1 counter on Overgrowth Elemental. That's fun. Masterful Replication. Choose 1. Create 2/3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature tokens. That's great. I like the idea of that conceptually. Choose target artifact you control. Each other artifact you control becomes a copy of that artifact until the end of turn. Why do I feel like that can create a horrible situation for an opponent? There's like some sort of like shenanigan gameplay right there. I can feel it. Okay, we got that card right there. We got a Sorcerer of the Fang. Creature, human wizard. Sorcerer of the Fang deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker with that tap. Deals 2 damage. Alright. Got a Ripscale Predator. Menace. A creature with menace can't be blocked except by 2. Oh, that's a reverse of that 1. Where 2 can't block, you have to block with 1, and this is the one where you need at least 2 to block. Otherwise it gets through. Cool. Thicket Crasher. Trample. Other elementals you control have trample. My gosh. It sounds like it's got some synergy craziness going on there. Fairy Miscreant. When Fairy Miscreant enters the battlefield, if you control another creature named Fairy Miscreant, draw a card. Alright. Spectral Sailor. Flash and flying, draw a card. Down here. Land. Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead enters the battlefield tapped. Whenever Field of the Dead or another land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. This is if you have a black-white deck. That was going on there. So you have to tap it. What does add mean? Add white. My brain can't resolve that right now. Okay, Woodland Champion. I'm going to move on. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, put that many 1/1 creatures on Woodland Champion. 1/1 counters on Woodland Champion. Wow. Gets tougher. I have this card, I'm fairly certain. That was in my elf deck. Yeah, pretty sure. I don't think it was that art though. Befuddle. Target creature gets -4, -0 until end of turn. Draw a card. So you debuff someone. Enchant creature here. We got Maniacal Rage. Creature gets 2/2 and can't block. Got Murder. I had this. Destroy target creature. Just straight up. No shenanigans for you. Dead. Although they get instant counters, and that makes me pissed. We got that's how it works. You can put an instant, but then someone can do an instant counter, right? Like you can counter an instant, right? I'm pretty sure it's like tiered. You can. Anyways, Gift of Paradise. Enchant land. When Gift of Paradise enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Enchanted land has tap. Add 2 mana of any color. Okay. And finally, the last deck. And now it doesn't want to load the deck. It's like, no, don't leave. You're going to see this last deck, and then you're going to leave us. Bam! Alright. We almost got it. Okay, so we have a Moldervine Reclamation. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. That sounds great for a black deck. Temple of Malady. Temple of Malady enters the battlefield tapped. When Temple of Malady enters the battlefield, scry 1. Again, tap to... Oh, I got it now. I just had to read more cards. You tap it and you get black or green mana when you tap this. Okay, Devout Decree. Exile target creature or planeswalker that's black or red. Scry 1. Oh, yikes. That's a trolly card from white. Maniacal Rage again. Prismite. Artifact creature golem. Add 1 mana of any color. Is it 2-tap? So it's a 2 trade for whatever color. Shock. Shock deals 2 damage to any target. Yoked Ox. More like, yeah, it's just a wall. It's just a defensive Ox. And we have this card that got us a common. And that is it. Oh my goodness. And then we can get back. Here, let's take a look at what this looks like for the last few minutes here. Just to see what's up. Ixalan. I don't know what this is. So this is no idea. No idea. Okay, Ixalan, we have Ixalan again. Ixalan, it feels like sort of like Mayan themed. Dominaria. Okay, never heard. And then we have 19. Oh, so after 19, Guilds of Ravnica. So Ravnica is, it's just another. So the Ravnica stuff I'm aware of is like was way before this. I didn't have any of these. These are new between 19 and 20. Okay. War of the Spark, and then M20 core set. Okay, and then these are what coins or crystals earn gold by playing games and completing quests. We'll get there. 6. What do I do here? 6 common, 6 uncommon, 2 rare, 0 mythic cards. I'm clicking on this. I don't know what that's doing. At this point, each
time you level up, you'll earn new rewards.
Alright, so I guess I'm just continuing a bit of the tutorial here that's still teaching me how to play this game. I mean, I know mostly how to play Magic itself, but mostly. I'll say that mostly because I'll forget stuff. But sometimes I would say the tutorial levels of this, they played really well. I recall 2014 didn't play that bad, but I felt like this one played better. I felt that right away. Okay, and then from here we have our decks. Well, I mean, of course I want the graveyard bat. Here, what do I... Oh. Okay, so this is all new now. So now we're going into blind territory here. I should probably... Oh, this is going to be fun. But this is going to take forever. Okay, so do they automatically... Don't they auto... Oh, geez, I'm overwhelmed. So I immediately get to this state. This is what makes me not play these games. I get so overwhelmed. I look at all this. I'm like, what am I even deciding to do here? Like, why is this a different color of white and gray? What's going on here? Why is this? Is this because I don't have it? Oh, see, now I'm clicking on things and I don't. How do I undo this? I can't. So I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, jeez. Overwhelmed. Oh, that's right. I remember 2014 had this. They would tell you here. Let's see. They would tell you. Well, this is breaking it down way more fine grain here, but it would tell you how many of these you had, and there was a sort of ratio. I had to read into this because when I was playing my Magic 2014 video game, I was so lost because that was almost 20 years later, right? And it's like, what am I even doing? And so I learned about this sort of thing, that there's a sort of ratio you sort of want. Even this matters, you know. You don't have to follow it, but you generally want to try. And so when I got the pauper decks, even I was trying to use this on the pauper decks to try to get the balance, because sometimes they were way off, and you'd feel it in play. You'd eventually this would come in. Yeah, this matters. Creatures versus non-creatures. I mean, it depends what kind of cards you have and what you're trying to take advantage of, but you want to try to pay attention to this. Okay, so. So how do I get back out of this? I want to reset this. I screwed up, so I would like to reset, please. Okay, I see. Fuck, it took me that long to see what's going on. These are how many collected and in inventory. So okay, wow. Yeah, you think I would just gather what was going on here, but okay, I got it now. These diamonds are how many of these you have. Of course I want these vampires. You crazy? I want this zombie right here. What do you do again? When doomed to dissent or dies, create. Yep, zombie, done. I want all of you, done. Lifelink. Yep, I like lifelink. I only have one of you. Shoot. Enchanted creature gets Yeah, it's an enchantment though with an aura. Well, it's a curse. More like it. Zombie, done. Take them all. Take them all. Sporlings. I had a Sporling green deck. That was fun. Pauper deck. That was a killer Pauper deck. The table. I didn't have enough room on the table. Let's put it that way. By the time I got myself ramped up, it was so annoying because I kept on putting spore creatures onto the field because of some trigger. Oh, horrible. Okay. Ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh, I want them in my hands. That's crazy. Then you can lose them real quick and then it just pisses you off. A 3/1 here with lifelink. White black. Nope. And we have this one. Here goes the empty one. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. Alright, done. Invalid deck, what do you mean? Deck contains cards not in your collection. Would you like to save and exit? Invalid deck. Why would you let me choose cards that weren't in my collection? I don't know how I screwed that up, but that's enough playtime. Let's go to profile. I'll show. I think I have. Oh no, I have this guy. What's his name again? Sarkon Vol. Fire, of course. All right, and then from here, I guess we'll eventually kick off the game and have some fun in the next episode. This is just yeah, like I said, just I wanted to have fun, just revisit the game, get back into the lore and the idea of things. A little bit intimidated to get playing, especially as an LP, because I'm going to be screwing up a lot, and of course, it's always embarrassing, but it'll be fun. I want to have fun in this game again. I really do remember having fun with this game. I just getting your ass kicked is never fun. But it's gonna happen. Can't wait to come back. I'll catch you when this game kicks off sometime in the future. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.